Slop alert. AndyPants and the Act-Man had a little debate. Looks like the Act-Man won. Who knows? You decide after I explain it to you. With the Gen Alpha skibbity toilet 30-second attention span intro out of the way, let's talk about the Act-Man versus AndyPants debate. To sum everything up, the whole reason AndyPants doesn't like the Act-Man is because he thinks the Act-Man is a shill who will do anything for money. He also thinks that he's some sort of that lets his wife run his whole life. That rhymes. He believes that the Act-Man to have no integrity.
Those other guys? No integrity. Do you want some integrity?
Somebody who doesn't actually speak their real opinions just so that they could save face and keep their paycheck. The Act-Man obviously says that these are lies, and a lot of what Andy believes is just crazy nonsense that he himself thought up just to hate on the Act-Man. The first argument that Andy brings up is the time the Act-Man made a review on Payday 3 where he glazed the game, literally dumped gallons of glaze onto the game's face.
You know, I'm a pretty hard nerd to please and somewhat reluctant to step too far out of my gaming comfort zone. But I'd seen a lot of requests from people asking about my thoughts on Payday, and I decided to take this offer, play it early, and let me tell you folks, no regrets. If you're new to this series like me, I'd recommend picking it up. It is $40, so it's also cheaper than a lot of other AAA games.
Obviously, the game came out and it was not very good. One of the worst launches in gaming history, one of the worst post-launches in gaming history, to the point where as of September of 2024, it's only just starting to slowly make its way back up in players. And honestly, Andy destroyed the Act-Man on this, and not enough people are talking about this. The Act-Man knowingly advertised a broken game to 800,000 people. A game so broken that he needed to state in the comments that you shouldn't buy the game until it's fixed. That was a year ago. The next thing he tried calling the Act-Man out on was him being paid by Activision for supporting their games.
So you truly liked Black Ops 6? You truly liked the new Call of Duty game? Because that feels like we're waiting for the check to clear from Activision as well.
See,
I don't think this holds any merits. Obviously, the Act-Man isn't being paid to lie about how fun Black Ops 6 is going to be. I do think that the Act-Man and many other YouTubers coped a little too hard on how good the game was actually going to be. Other than that, though, really nothing about his opinions on the game are deserving of being called quote-unquote woke. Andy also asked why the Act-Man called a bunch of Resident Evil fans gooners for being angry at the removal of Ashley's panties being able to be seen if you look up her skirt. People were threatening to boycott the game, and the Act-Man decided to make fun of them. People then started to flip the rhetoric, saying that he supports censorship when he was just mainly making fun of people who were offended by the removal of such a simple Easter egg. I think for the most part, the Act-Man has cleared up what he was trying to say, and Andy bringing this up literally led nowhere. We get some bantering back and forth, Andy asking why the Act-Man doesn't call out woke content. The Act-Man mocks the whole woke content exposure YouTuber role until the Act-Man actually throws some shade at Andy, calling him out for, in the past, liking Starfield.
Why don't these YouTubers talk about racism directed towards white people?
Yes.
And you know what? You're right, bro. I started working on a new video. It's called "Why is the Great Replacement Theory So Bad?" And I think the fans are gonna love it. We're just hard pivoting to political content on my main channel. Some of them will.
Tell us what I've hidden from my audience. Go for it.
All right. Well, we could start off light, but you're a huge fan of Starfield, aren't you?
I know I'm the slop guy and I'm making really lazy content, but like this is such a nothing burger. Who fucking cares if he used to like the game? Lots of people were hyped for Starfield. When the game first came out, people were liking the game. It wasn't until a few weeks after release of the game that we actually started to see backlash for the gameplay being dog shit. They both bicker about this like children for a bit until the Act-Man brings up another thing that Andy once said, and that's the more gay, lesbian, and trans female characters we have in video games, the better. And Andy really doesn't answer it. He just says that when he supported Xbox, it seemed like the best thing to do at the time. And we go back to the whole annoying bickering where Andy is saying that the Act-Man is a pansy for not being right-winged enough, and the Act-Man is saying things that'll have Andy's fanbase turn on him. Which, I'm trying to fence it here, but like, do you expect Andy to be some sort of neo Like, his every post, he is supposed to be making something calling gay people slurs, or if you like any game with gay characters, that you're a shill. What I picked out from Andy's explanations, and this is just me, is that he used to support Xbox, and since the Xbox tried to push LGBT games out as much as they could, Andy found it to be his job to support them on this. Seeing a lot of shitty games come out, he created the AndyPants channel where he decided to trash talk these games' lack of entertainment in exchange for pushing politics. Andy then brings up the same point that the Act Man is grifting for both sides in order to gain money from both of them. And the Act Man honestly brings up a really good defense. He makes fun of both sides. One of his most popular videos is him making fun of SJWs in gamings, and he supported Hogwarts Legacy last year when it was getting hate from a lot of people in the LGBT community because it had some sort of relation to J.K. Rowling, even though it didn't. Andy then calls the Act Man a grifter again. The Act Man explains that he doesn't want to put politics into his videos unless they relate to gaming or media.
Just want to talk about games, and that's fine. And that as given your type of content, that makes sense because it helps you play both sides and it helps you make as much money as possible to not talk about politics. And it's smart.
Politics in the real world. Okay, I'm not going to make a video about gun control. You know what I mean? I'm here to talk about politics in media, in storytelling. That I'm fine with. I'm not going to tell you how the fucking country should be run. Okay? I make video game videos. So what do you mean sitting on the fence when I say, okay, I'm not going to turn into like a political channel that talks about, free speech and Second Amendment shit. Like, I do that shit on my Twitter, but that's separate from the YouTube channel.
When making fun of Concord, he made fun of how bad the characters look instead of the fact that they were minorities. Honestly, another good response by the Act Man. It's worse for the Act Man to completely change his channel just for the sake of politics. Andy again brings up another bad point by calling out the Act Man for having someone in his server that called one of Andy's black fans a monkey, saying that he lived in a mud hut. Why is this a bad point? Well, I'm sure we're all aware of the argument that YouTubers shouldn't be responsible for what their fans do or say, and I just completely agree with that. They literally just then banter for the next 20-ish minutes, bringing up the same points until it leads towards the end where they actually start to talk about video games. So, what are my opinions on this whole debate? Well, to be honest, I think they're both stupid in this. It was filled with kindergarten insults, bringing up each other's past, and an overall misunderstanding of each other's arguments. I honestly expected more and hoped that they would come to some sort of agreement, but no. They end the video on neutral terms, and after the video is uploaded to Andy's channel, he turns off the comments and sends over a false copyright strike to the Act Man's video on it, despite involving the Act Man directly, and Andy even giving the Act Man permission to upload the video. This took the ending of the debate, one that anyone can agree was on a neutral or even positive note, and turned it into a slap in the face for anyone who supported AndyPants. Who do I think won the debate? No one. It was hardly a debate, but who do I think won the drama? The Act Man, without a doubt. As much as I can find real things to criticize the Act Man on, like him pushing an unfinished game for money, I have no clue why Andy didn't focus on that and instead focus on the Act Man's uninterest in politics outside the gaming space. The Act Man shouldn't have gone after Andy's old comments. I think it's lazy and a low blow. His mind has obviously changed from those times, and I honestly think that the Act Man was trying to push the idea that Andy was grifting for right-wingers, but again, you lose a lot of monetary gain if you choose to push against the LGBT in gaming, so if his goal was to make a lot of money from grifting, he did pick the wrong crowd. I do believe that Andy believes what he does, I just think he needs to centralize himself in order to not focus on politics, mostly calling people out for not wanting to talk about politics. Anyways, that's the slop for the week. I had to sit through this shit, so sorry if it seems like I'm a bit angry while talking about this. Andy, I hope you learned from this. The Act Man, enjoy your dub, and again, thank you for watching.
I can't believe the morning I woke up and I was like, holy crap, like one of my favorite YouTubers, As Mongold, was like making a video, responding to my video. For a second, I was panicking. I was like, oh man, I hope he likes it.